Hello everybody, Sergeant Soldier here, and we're back with another Building Rust, and today we have another base off the Imgur link. This one is called the 1x1 with double walls. Now, I'm not exactly a fan of that name. I'm going to change the name a little bit for our video. We're going to call this the 1x1 Spaced Shuriken. And we're going to call it that because, for one, it looks like the Shuriken base. It's pretty much built the same way. But for two, you can see it's got a little bit of a space there around that center square. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take this, we're going to build it up. I'll show you how to do it first of all. We're going to add a second layer to it, and then from there, we'll just kind of discuss what you could do with that after that. So, we'll be right back. Now starting off, this is how you're going to begin this build. This is step one. You're going to make a cross out of squares. It's going to look just like this. Our center square there, I made sheet metal because that's the one that's going to be sticking behind as we build around it. And then from here, all you got to do is drop down. We're going to stand around this square, and we're going to remove two of the squares on all four sides, like so, until we have the final last square on the outside, like so, all the way around. Now from here, just go out and start placing triangles down until you get that gap right there. See it? So we're gonna go with this, fell down. Oop, see, you gotta be very careful about this. Gotta make sure it's connected to the right foundation. Alright, now from here, these triangles are going to be permanent, so I'm going to upgrade all these to stone. And we're going to remove all the rest of this twig. Like so. And like so. So, alright, now from here, what I did was I took a square, and I placed it around like so. Took another triangle, and then I attached this new triangle to the square like so. Make sure it's attaching to the square and not to this triangle here. Otherwise, it's not going to work. See how that's got a really large gap there? We don't want that. So you got to be very careful about your placement. Now, once you got these here, go ahead and upgrade them all to stone. At this point, basically, all you have to do is decide where you want your door. So, obviously, we're going to pick a square so we have an additional honeycombing airlock. That looks good right there. And then we're just going to fill it all in with walls. So, like this, like this, like this. Make sure to get the double walls there. All the way around. This spot here is a little tricky because I have the doorways in. But if I fly up and I show you, that's basically the basic shape. Now, of course, you're going to fill in the rest of the honeycomb. You're going to upgrade these, all the stone, and you're going to make sure they're all facing the right way, right? Now, one thing I want to show you guys here, and this is very important in this particular spot, where these two triangles meet together here. You want to make sure that the walls are both facing out where they're overlapped here. And then this wall here, yep. If it faces this way and a raider comes in, it's no big deal, right? If they happen to go through this outside triangle wall here, let's say we blow that up. Not a big deal. They're going to blow into this square here, and then they're going to have an additional triangle to go through in the backside there. However, if they end up blowing through the square, if I replace that, like so, and then put this in here. If they blow through the outside of the square here, instead of going through the triangles, and you leave this wall turned like this, they're going to be able to pick this wall down and waste no explosives, and that actually gets them one wall closer to being able to access the inside of your base. They use explosives on this wall, and now all of a sudden they're able to actually shoot the walls of your inside square. So when you're doing this base, and I probably have to remove this wall here to get that other one back up. When you're doing this base, make sure, come on, make sure this wall, right here on between the triangle and the square, make sure that is facing in towards the square. Because if they soft side pick towards the square, that's not that big of a deal. That's okay, because it's not going to get them an advantage at any point. But if they're blowing in from the square going towards the triangle, soft side picking this wall here is going to give them a little bit of an advantage. It's one less wall they're going to blow through. So from here, basically all we're going to do is we're going to fill this in, we're going to upgrade all the stone, and then we're going to start looking at the second level. So with that, we'll be right back. Alright, now here, as you can see, if I come down a little bit, we have our second level up. The honeycombing is all done on the inside, everything's all built up as it's supposed to be, and you'll notice, now that we have the second level up, we have to decide what we're going to do with this second level floor. Are we going to do a floor frame and risk waiting quite a while to get our 3 gears in order to make a ladder hatch? Or are we going to go ahead and throw a door up, like so, and use how easy it is to get ropes and just make ladders and climb the ladders up and down? Because of the way that it is now with ladders, it is a little bit easier. So honestly, I would probably recommend doing this with ladders instead of the ladder hatch, at least until you have the gears and you know for sure that you want to put a ladder hatch in there. But that's just my opinion. Now, you guys could do this however you want. The nice thing, though, is if you end up doing it like this, and you have all these walls going around like so, and eventually at some point, you get all your gears and you say, okay, Sergeant Sold, I don't want to use ladders in here anymore. I actually want to use a ladder hatch. You could do both. All you got to do is just put the frame in, craft up a ladder hatch like so, use your 3 gears, and then just put it in. This is a good starter way to do it when you don't have the gears ready or you don't have them probably for quite a while, depending on the size of your group, and you just want to be able to protect your base a little bit. Having a ladder in this little area here is better than having nothing. So one thing I will remind you guys though is when you're leaving your base or when you're logging out for the night, always make sure to bust the ladder in this room. And we can get rid of this so I don't confuse you. Always make sure to bust the ladder in this room. You don't want to leave any ladders in your base that a raider could use against you. Now flying back up here, there's quite a few different things you could do with the inside of this. Now, number one, as we have the door here, you can make a little pathway like so. And put a doorway there. Let's see if we can make this work. Nope, it's gotta go the other way. So, and like so. You can do it like this. Get everything put in here for you. Like that, right? So then at some point in time, you're going to be able to make double doors, right? So we're going to start this with wood. Eventually, at some point, you may end up getting to sheet metal, but as of right now, we're just going to go with wood. Create 2 double doors there. You're able to walk through just fine. Close that. The only problem, though, is look, with this double door here, you're going to be able to look straight out. And that's a problem with this base, is the way that this outside area is overlapping, it doesn't really give you much room to walk around, besides for the square that goes straight up. That's why I'm not really a fan of this base. There isn't really a whole lot you could do with it other than, instead of doing that, let me get rid of all this. We seal this up like so, as if it were honeycombing. We leave this square open, like so, and put another ladder in here. And use that ladder to get back up, and then have a loot room on top of your square here in the center, like right here. It's a very small loot room. It's not a very big base. Essentially, it's only a 1x1 base that has the spaced out honeycombing around it. That's why I'm not really a fan of this base, because it doesn't give you a whole lot of room. However, it is on the Imgur link that we've been doing videos of, and in the essence of thoroughness, I wanted to make sure I didn't skip it, because it is indeed on there. But anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. Like I said, I'm not really a fan of this base. I don't really see you being able to do a whole lot with this base. Because of the spacing, it makes it really hard to add additional layers of honeycombing. And because of the spacing between not only the center foundation, but the outside foundations, it's very hard to put floors in here that can cause you to expand your loot room in the center. All the other bases that we've done, such as the 1x1 star and the 1x1 star and the 3x3, you're able to actually take your loot room from the center square and expand it upon something bigger. Eventually you'll get into the 1x1 star loot room, and if you expand the honeycombing on the outside, you can get into a 3x3 loot room. With this base, I really can't see it. I don't know what else you could really do that would make your loot still somewhat protected, because the gapping on the outside of this makes going around it with honeycombing really difficult. But anyway, Sergeant Solge, this was the 1x1 with Space Shuriken honeycombing around it. I'm sure I'll get the name right when I do the title of the video. And we'll see you in the next Building Rust video. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for watching this episode. If you want to see more great content from Private Astro or myself, please hit that subscribe button and click on any of the videos above. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next Sergeant Solge or Private Astro video. Bye-bye.